SBM Live, subscribe, we speaking boxing. SBM Live, subscribe, we speaking boxing. SBM Live, subscribe, we speaking boxing.
We got Djinji from SolBox. You know, I had to grab the camera. I already finished my boxing session, but he started talking boxing. But I told him, you can't speak boxing without me putting it on camera, because this is free knowledge just going into the oxygen and just getting evaporated into thin air. Because you know, there's a lot of knowledge behind that desk right now. So
there's a lot of, I would say, just a lot of, you know, like a lot of people, a lot of studies, but and opinions. But one thing that my opinions will not do, I will never disrespect any of these boxers, degrade them with, you know, racial slurs, number one, slurs about their sexuality, number two. There's a trend with social media boxing fans to just really be straight derogatory, and I don't understand it.
you don't even know how it is to train every single day and step into the ring.
I mean, it's just, you know, whether you like a boxer or not, or he lives up to your expectations or not, you know, we as fans, we can't pick and choose how we support. Either you're going to support or you're not going to support. And these men, you know, when some of these young women, they get into the ring and they, you know, they're taking shots, they're risking their life, they're getting hurt, they're coming out with black eyes, cracked orbitals, hematomas from headbutts, all type of shit. And you know, to call these boxers cowards and pendejos and whatever and this and that, it's just, I think it's childish, I think it's immature, I think it gives boxing a bad name.
There was a lot of this weekend called this guy pendejo.
Well, they've been calling Canelo a pendejo because of his, you know, there's so many things that happen in the politics of boxing that I'm not aware of.
So why do you think Canelo stepped down and vacated that title?
You know what? I don't even give a shit. In all honesty, I don't even care, because these guys at that point, they're making so much money and they're ruled by their promoters, they're this and that. They're actually like American politicians. They're just puppets. They're pawns in the game.
So you don't think it's the boxer itself?
I don't think it's as much of the boxer as it is their promotional teams.
So you don't think Canelo hesitated to step into the ring against Triple G? Because he showed a lot of passion after the Khan fight, but you can't compare Khan and Triple G.
I think that, I think, and it's just one man's opinion, and I love to be wrong, and I don't really care about being right, because when I'm wrong, I learn something, you know what I'm saying, about the shit I love. But at the end of that last fight with Canelo and Khan, did you see Oscar De La Hoya's eyes? Did you see the money eyes?
Yeah.
Does everybody know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The money eyes, when he was talking. He had the eyes of a pimp on that young man. Like, yo, them shits was like, yo, we gonna milk this cow. So if there was any threat of him getting hurt before he can maximize his money, Golden Boy's not gonna let that happen. They're not gonna let that happen, because Bernard's been through wars. De La Hoya's been through wars. They know what it's like, and they know how you gotta milk this cow. Right. I think there's other things that we don't know that goes on, like Las Vegas betting odds. There's so much shit. I think that all boxers are a little bit scared sometimes, because if Mike Tyson could admit that he was scared every time before he got into the ring, but as he got closer, he started feeling himself. To say that no one's ever scared is to say you're not a human being. It's like Customato said, it's what you do with that fear.
Right.
I mean, shit, guys die. Guys die. And a guy like Triple G could end a person's career. So you want to make sure, but to Canelo's credit, he's fought much better boxers than Triple G has fought.
People are forgetting that Canelo has to come up, even though he's a natural.
He's fought better. So I'm not saying that, you know, I'm just not going to sit here and act like I know what goes on behind the scenes, because I don't. And I'm sure there's a lot of boxing fans that are more knowledgeable than I am. But I think we also have to be, you know, we have to be human beings behind this, man, because there's so many boxers we can look at that are punch drunk, that are sick, that don't have health care, that don't have insurance. And for our entertainment's sake, we want our guys to be like that. When you see a Bernard Hopkins, when you see a Sugar Ray Leonard, when you see a Marvin Hagler, when you see a Duran, when you see these guys that are still sharp and they can still talk to you and they're not punch drunk, and then you look at the greatest like Muhammad Ali. And do we want all of our people to end up like that? I don't think Ali would want all of his fighters, all of his boxers to end up like that. So, you know, one punch could change a young man's whole health, could change his whole life. It could change how he takes care of his family. Like a few years ago, there was this heavyweight bout, Irish Mike Perez and this guy named Mohammad Abdul Salamov, a Russian Muslim, southpaw heavyweights. These brothers were banging. They were going at it, and they both had boxing skills. Two southpaws, heavyweights. You don't see that. Touch and go, slipping, counter punches. And Abdul Salamov, after the third or fourth round, went back to the corner and was complaining of something. He said something feels wrong, but he kept fighting. He kept fighting. He finished the fight. They went 10 rounds. Make a long story short, the fight wasn't stopped. These dudes were landing hammers and bricks. And afterwards, he didn't get straight to the doctors. He actually had to. It was at Madison Square Garden. Madison Square Garden. The dude had to wait 10 minutes for a cab on 8th Avenue and 33rd Street. And if you're from New York, you know that's fucked up. He just fought. He went to the hospital, slipped into a coma, and his whole world changed, his whole family changed. Now, I know everybody's saying, yeah, but that's what they signed up for. Fuck it. Yo, for real though? I mean, when a boxer does that to another boxer, he's never the same afterwards. He's a little trigger shy. You know what I mean? It fucks his head up that he damn near killed somebody just by doing his job. So I think the fans really need to support, you know, these boxers that we choose to, you know, you don't have to agree with them, but I mean, I was talking to somebody last week about Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler, right? If you studied the boxing from the 80s, you know that Ray Leonard dragged that fight out for 5 fucking years because Hagler was ready to go with him in 82, 81 even, because Hagler was that workhorse. Hagler was that workhorse that wasn't famous, that wasn't handsome, that wasn't articulate, but he ate steel and wood and bricks and snow and ice. And he fucking worked his way up. And he was like, Leonard basically was one of the best boxers of that time, but he was handsome, he was articulate, he was groomed to be America's favorite. And he'll tell you that. Yeah, he beat Hearns, he beat the best of them, but he also had the press on his side. He had PR people grooming him. He was the next Muhammad Ali, but a welterweight. And everybody knew that after the '76 Olympics. That's why he went to Dundee. He was groomed. So Hagler was like hungry, like fuck him. Yeah, he can fight, but give him to me. Boom. Hearns, another workhorse. Leonard wasn't supposed to win that fight in '81, but he won. Detroit lost all their money. He pulled out an upset because as much of a pretty boy and a groomed boxer that Leonard was, Leonard could fight because they called him a pretty boy and they called him groomed. And he was like, yo, I got D's, baby. I want to box you. The first fight with Duran, no one gave him credit for going toe-to-toe. He went toe-to-toe with Duran, lost on points, but he went right there with him and boxed El Mano de Piedra. He boxed him right there. Second round, second fight, he made him quit. He doesn't get credit for that. But when he was supposed to fight Hagler, Hagler's like, I'm next in line, baby. Leonard retires in 82, 83, calls a press conference. And Marvin is at the press conference thinking, Leonard's going to say, we're going to fight. Marvin Hagler's excited. He's like, yo, this is it. And Leonard says, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to retire. Marvin was like, yo, what the fuck? Leonard retires. Comes back, blah, blah, blah. Make a long story short, that's 82. They don't fight until 87. It's there in the history. You can YouTube it. I'm not making this shit up. All I'm saying is that at that level that these guys are at, they're dealing with a whole set of things that we don't understand. You understand what I mean? And if Leonard made Hagler fight, wait 5 years, 5 to 6 years to fight in 87 and beat him in what is still a controversial fight, but he beat him, and Leonard came back. And Leonard was one of the few boxers to take 2, 3, 4 years off and come back Bangladesh and do his thing. So when we talk about these guys cherry picking, you don't even know what the fuck cherry picking means.